Andrew Serbisek, video 3.2. So to start off, we'll go through mistakes that Pam made when talking to Paul. So the first mistake that I noticed is she initiated the conversation in a public setting, right at the concession stands. Anyone could have walked up, so that didn't really show respect to Paul and just the type of conversation that they were having. And then just to continue on with that respect line, she also just really didn't treat Paul generally with respect and dignity. She kept using phrases like brighter, livelier image, a lot of things that implied that what Paul had was not bright or lively or an updated image, which, as you stated, could come back to a ageism lawsuit. Another mistake that Pam made was she was not direct or confident at all. She hesitated with her phrases. She used the phrase like "find something else for you" instead of just saying directly, you're terminated or you're fired, which led to Paul listing off, several other places that he could work instead of just, getting to the point more directly. Until she finally said, "We're going to have to let you go." When, again, with the directness and confidence, Paul replies with, "You're firing me." She continues to be passive and says, firing is such a harsh term, harsh word. And then later, towards the end of it, when, Paul is still looking for clarification on it. He says, "So there's no other positions in the company?" She still says, "Not at this time." So she's still not super direct and firm with her firing stance. She also really didn't use defensible reasons at all. So at one point, she actually said that he's been doing a wonderful job. His till always balanced. He always keeps things in stock. Even goes as far as to say she appreciates his efforts running the stand. She also points out, when they're talking about the changes that she has made, that she likes some of the changes. In her closing, she goes, she states that he's been a great concession manager. So if you're Paul and you're replaying all these things in your mind, you're thinking, okay, well, why are they letting me go if I'm doing all these things so well? It kind of comes back to the energy and livelier image point, which he could have grounds for unemployment or a lawsuit after that. Okay, so another mistake that she made, she didn't have a definitive end time for him. Say that he could work through the shift, and that she would check the schedule on his last shift, which also should be noted that it's not recommended to continue a shift because, one, he's probably not going to provide the best work, and two, it can really hurt, some of the objectives of a clean break and other employee morale and future employees with him spreading, possible negative things. She didn't have a firm pre-decided severance package. She seemed unaware of his actual PTO balance, and then she stated that she could round up from 2.5 to 3 days, maybe 4, but she'd have to check with accounting first, so she didn't have that predetermined and wasn't generous, didn't err on the side of caution with that. And then finally, the last mistake I noticed is she avoided responsibility. She stated that she didn't want to have to do this and kept referring to the other managers that made that decision with her. And then stated that, she's trying to get through, it's not my fault that you're getting fired. This is my fault that this is going on to you. So how I would have done this. So first of all, it would have been, "Paul, can we please go speak somewhere privately?" Paul, a couple of months ago, we had a conversation about re-energizing our concession stands and updating it. Unfortunately, you haven't made really significant strides and improvements in this area, and it's been detrimental to what we're trying to achieve in the theater as a whole. So due to this lack of innovation and sense of urgency, we're going to have to terminate your employment effective immediately. You will be paid for the full shift tonight, and we're going to pay you for 2 weeks of PTO pay in recognition of your past service. I've put HR's contact information on the severance package that you'll get. If you have any questions, about, last paycheck, extended medical, or any other questions that you might have. Finally, I just wanted to take a moment to personally thank you for just your dedication to this job the past 2 years. That's it.